Okay, so this is where we start with our program in C++, and if you want to start with the C++, that's very easy. You can use any online editor to create your program. We need first to start with the int main, open and close parentheses. That is where we start the program for the C++. So we need to produce the output here by using the cout. The purpose of the cout is to display the output. As you can see, we have the double less than redirection line. The purpose of this is to infuse the output and put that in the console. And of course, if you want to terminate a program, we need to provide the command return 0 semicolon. Semicolon is where you end the program in C++. Okay, so that's the output. Now, next, um, be sure that you type it correctly. And at the same time, be sure that the syntax is correct. Okay. So now let us add another statement to produce the output. This time we again type the cout and then put the double quotation to bring the command and to bring the output. Double quotation is a string type of encapsulation where you produce the output. Okay. Okay, so we just completed our first mission here to display the string commands. We have the hello world and the this is fun. What if we want to compute the numbers? It's very easy. We can use the math operators in the operands. These math operators composed of different assignments. You can add, multiply, divide, and subtract. For the operands, well, this refers to the number. If you put the cout double less than symbol 1 plus 2, okay, that's the syntax, you can produce 3. Can you? I think you can see that there is the output of number 3 there. You can use the operands to add, again, subtract, and multiply. I'm sorry for the spelling. The numbers, no? Now, we again repeat the process. Let us say we combine the string and the number. So we have the cout less than double less than symbol. This is your direction command. And we put the sum of this number is, as you notice, we have the double quotation there because it's a string, and we have the double less than symbol again. Okay, the reduction output to produce the number 7. The sum of this number is 7. Okay, so we have the answer. Now, if you want to terminate the program, be sure that you put the return 0 and semicolon. Okay, please check the syntax. Syntax is very important because if you misspelled it, automatically the interpreter will give you an error. Okay, so you need to check the process, review the answer, review the commands, the syntax, the grammar of your program. Okay, like for example, now we have here the output, the sum of these numbers is 7. Okay, so the answer is not that quite clear, and it is not separated to the statement of the answer. So what are you going to do? We will use the double quotation to give space to the string and to the number. You see, double redirection symbol is used to direct or to fuse or to inject the output of your program in the console. As you can see, the answer number 3 is not arranged because we did not put the cout endline statement in the previous command. If you look at it, you can see it there. The endline command is used to bring the next statement to the next line. That's the purpose of that. So when we run the program, we have now the space of the string and the number 7. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Okay, so our next topic is to use the variable. So the variable is just like a temporary data where you can store different values. So we have the int, okay? We have the double, we have the character, and we have the string, and we have the boolean. So we'll be using the int first, our first data type, so that we can create our own simple program. Okay, int stands for integer. This refers to numbers. You can store different values in the variable. Now, let us start with the code. So we start with our I interrupt main, open close parentheses, and we declare the grade. Grade is a variable. So the value of the grade is 80. Okay, so here, let us test if the value of grade is stored, if the value of 8 is stored in the variable grade. So we use the cout program again, and we use the grade variable. Okay, and then after that, please don't forget to inject the return 0 as your terminator for your C++ program. And of course, we have the open and close bracket. You run the program, and then the result is, the grade is 80. Can you get the point? It's very easy. So we have the grade variable, and then our next task is to write three variables. Let us say that we will create a simple grading system. So we have the three data types right there. We have the data types of INT, and we have the variables of prelim, midterm, final. They have their own values. Prelim equals 80, midterm equals 80, and then final equals 75. And you can see we have the total grade equals 0. That is 0. Why? Because that's where we store our computation later on in this program. So when we do the computation, we put first the variable total grade, and then we create the basic computation. We add the prelim, midterm, final, and divide it by 3. And after that, we fetch, of course, the variable total grade, and we will check the total grade. All right, so we can use the redirection symbol in the cout command, and when we run the program, all right, that's it. The average is 78. Okay, have fun with the codes. Okay, so let us continue. What if we will play with the different types of data types? I mean, using the int, using the string, using the char. Okay, how to do that? Like, for example, we have the variable x here. We have two variables, x and y. The values are 10. So the value of x and y are 10. If we want to print that, it's very simple. We need to use the cout, and then, of course, we add x plus y, and then the answer is 20. All right. Now, if we use the string in between the numbers, we can use the double quotation and put the total is 20. Can you get the point? It's very easy. All you have to do is to play with the redirection symbol, at the same time play with the double quotation so that you can give space to the answers. All right. So we add another variable. This time we will use the string and the char. The difference between the string is strings are composed of words and letters. It's more than one character. While character is only dedicated to a singular character. Character could be a number or a letter or special characters or an extended characters, whatever that is. No. So we have here the char. Char is another data type. So we have the variable for data 1 that's equivalent to single quotation, a single quotation. That is for the character. If it is a string, well, it is more than 1 or 2 characters. So we have the double quotation for the string. For example, if we need to print the value of data 1, that is letter A, and we need to print the value of name, it's very simple. We use again the cout. The string is, we need to print the variable of the name, okay, and we need to print the variable of the char. So for the variable for the name, the string is the name, and the variable for the char is the data 1. Now, if you run the program, okay, in the console you can see that the string is hello world, okay, for the name, and the char is A for data 1. Okay, so please review and please check the codes, and please don't forget to check the grammar of your programs. Okay. Okay, for example, we want to test the Boolean. Boolean is to determine if the statement is true or false. If it is false, well, post at 0. If it is 1, that is true. Well, what is the purpose of Boolean? You can use this in a different programming paradigm. Like, for example, if you want to create switching or logical switch for the programming, especially for Arduino, Gistuino, and other electric stuff, something like that. But here, we need to understand what is a Boolean in C++. As you can see, we have two variables here. We have the x and y. The value of x is 10, the value of y is 12. Now, we will determine if these statements are true or not. Like, for example, is x less than y? Of course, the answer is true. So if it is true, well, of course, the answer is 1, right? If x is greater than y, because the value of y is greater than x, so the answer is 1. All right? Can you see the point? Okay, let us check the code again. Count x greater than y. So what's the answer? If you run the program, all right, the answer is 1. All right, x is less than y. Y is greater than x. If x is greater than y, the answer is 1. If it is less than y, the answer is 0. So 1 is true, 0 is false. Okay, for example, we want to test the Boolean. Boolean is to determine if the statement is true or false. If it is false, well, post at 0. If it is 1, that is true. Well, what is the purpose of Boolean? You can use this in a different programming paradigm. Like, for example, if you want to create switching or logical switch for the programming, especially for Arduino, Gistuino, and other electric stuff, something like that. But here, we need to understand what is a Boolean in C++. As you can see, we have two variables here. We have the x and y. The value of x is 10, the value of y is 12. Now, we will determine if these statements are true or not. Like, for example, is x less than y? Of course, the answer is true. So if it is true, well, of course, the answer is 1, right? If x is greater than y, because the value of y is greater than x, so the answer is 1. All right? Can you see the point? Okay, let us check the code again. Count x greater than y. So what's the answer? If you run the program, all right, the answer is 1. All right, x is less than y. Y is greater than x. If x is greater than y, the answer is 1. If it is less than y, the answer is 0. So 1 is true, 0 is false. Okay, so our next program is to create a very simple application that will ask the user to enter the number. So we have here the scene command that used to enter the number. Scene is computer input, and of course, if we want to display the output, that's the count. Count stands for computer output. But before doing that, we need first to declare a variable. Well, of course, a variable is the top of the line here. Without a variable, you cannot, manipulate the data. Like, for example, we need to enter numbers. Okay, we need to enter a number here. So we declare the x variable. Okay, so and at the same time, we have here the information that asks the user to enter the first number. And we use the scene command. The scene command is used to handle the x variable. Okay, so when you enter any numbers or appearance, it will be stored to the x variable. So scene stands for computer input. Okay, so as you can see, the syntax for the scene is different from the count. It is a reverse of less than symbol, return symbol. Less than symbol and greater than symbol. Now, if you print the output of x, okay, you use the count command. If you run the program, okay, we have the error here. Debugging is very important. No? Do not panic if you see these errors. This can help you to develop your skills. I think the error is the syntax, the redirection symbol. Okay, we need to check that, and we run the program. Okay, that's it. We enter the first number. 10 will be stored to x, the variable. Now, we'll again enter another input. This time we'll copy the program, the statement. We add only the variable y, and we need to copy this statement to the next line. All right, and then we will ask the user again to enter the next number. Okay, we just replaced the statement for the second number, and we replace the variable for the second entry as y. And of course, for the display, we output the second number and we replace x with y. Okay, let us check the grammar. We'll run the program, enter first number. Okay, and 10 is the first number, 20 is the second number. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we will create another program. So this program is the combinations of our previous examples. This time around, we need to apply the if and else statement. At the same time, we need also to declare the variable. So we are using the different assignment operators here to validate our data. So the purpose of the if statement is to validate the data to, well, this is to filter the data if the data is true or false, if the data is greater than compared to that data. Okay, so we need first to create the variable. We have here the data type int and the variable is grade. So what is the syntax of the if statement? If expression composed of numbers and letters. Okay, if expression is true, then we print the true statement. Like, for example, if grade is greater than 90, we print the statement excellent. Otherwise, we print, okay, the statement here in the next line. We print here, we can say excellent, or we can print you poor grades. No. Now, as you can see, we have here the open brace and the close brace. So if is a statement where you pair with the else statement. So if you have the open brace, you need to use the close brace. Okay, as you can see, okay, please check the first statement. If grade is greater than 90, open brace, we have here a statement. Okay, we bring the open brace and the close brace, and we what you call this, divide it into parts. The first sets of open and close brace will dictate the answer of our if and else statement. Okay, so if you run the program, the answer is poor grades. Why? Because 90, we compare 90 to a higher number. Now, let us again write another program. This time around, we need to ask the student to enter the prelim grade. So we declare the variable for the prelim. Okay, so we don't have any value for the prelim because prelim is void or empty. So we need to validate it here. Sin stands for computer input and Cout stands for computer output. So we have here, if prelim is greater than 75, okay, open bracket, then you could say pass. Otherwise, we can say failed. So always remember to check your open and close braces. This is where you blend with the syntax. Okay, when you run a program, enter your prelim grade. So 60 will be stored to prelim. If you run the program again, 76, pass because, well, if prelim is greater than 75, then that's pass. Okay, now this is the last portion of our basic tutorial in C++. Okay, now I want you to review the previous examples. Now here, our task here is to create a program that will repeat the process. We call it what? The loop. So we have different types of loop. We have the for loop and we have the do while loop. Here, we will discuss how to use the loop command. Okay, we have here the first statement, the second statement, the third statement. So to use the first statement, we need first to initialize the variable. Second statement is to compare the variable. Third statement is to increment the variable. We have here the variable named count. So count equals to 0, count is equals to 10, count plus plus plus. At the same time, when we increment the count plus 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 until it reaches 10, it will print the value of count. So we have here the for statement in the open brace second in the last brace. This is to pair the open and close brace. And if you run the program, we have here the value from count 0 to 10. Okay. So don't forget to fuse the return 0. Another variable is the rep. So we have here the for rep equals 0. Initialization, rep is less than or equals to 5. And we don't have the rep plus plus. Let us check what will happen if we run the program. We print here the string hello world. It will create an infinite loop output in our console. Please check, okay? So when we run the program, okay, let us first check the code. Okay, if we run the program, okay, it has an infinite loop of hello world string. So you can print the string, you can print the numbers. So if you put the plus plus to increment and to validate that is rep is less than or equals to 5, we can only print 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hello world. Okay, so please review and don't forget to subscribe in this channel. In our next session of tutorial, you can learn more